There are many great neighborhoods here on the outskirts of Orlando, Florida, but today I'll be helping you to decide if you should move to Victoria Park in Deland, Florida, or DeBary Plantation in DeBary. These two communities have much in common, but there are some distinct differences. These aren't listed in any particular order, so be sure to stick around toward the end when I'll be seeking your input to help this community, and I'll also be sharing links to specific information on each of these two neighborhoods. So let's jump right into the similarities of these two communities. Victoria Park is in Deland, about 15 or 20 minutes north of DeBary Plantation. They're both family-friendly communities located right close to I-4, so getting down to Orlando or over to the beaches is really quite easy. They're both nicer communities of mostly single-family residential homes with an average size of, say, 2,100 square feet that similar buyers may consider when moving up here on the north side of Orlando. Each of these communities has several smaller communities contained inside them, and Victoria Park has a Victoria Hills Golf Club, while DeBary Plantation has a DeBary Golf and Country Club. Someone that doesn't like a homeowners association or someone that wants land, maybe a horse, isn't going to consider DeBary Plantation or Victoria Park. They're just a completely different buyer than would live in here. Some would say that both of these communities are cookie-cutter communities, although Victoria Park may have a little more of that type of feel in some areas. They both got golf courses, clubhouses, and community pool options, and, at this recording, they're both really the premier communities for their respective cities for the last decade or so. However, I should say that both of these communities have new construction competition that could really challenge this in the coming years. Rivington and the Reserve at Victoria are both up-and-coming competitors. DeBary Plantation and Victoria Park are both primarily comprised of homes with an average of between 2,100 and 2,200 square feet, and both communities are 25 years old, so there's a lot of similarities. But let's take a look at what's not quite so similar. The first difference in these two communities is really the feel. Although Victoria Park is a bit newer than DeBary Plantation, it does seem like Victoria Park has more mature trees. Of course, it depends on which section of the community you're in, as there's still new construction in Victoria Park. But I've heard some DeBary Plantation homeowners indicate that they wish that they had trees like Victoria Park does. It's not that trees don't exist in here. DeBary Plantation has some very nice trees, but the overall feel is a bit different in here. I've heard it said that DeBary Plantation is a bit more sophisticated too, but I don't know if that's really the case. Heck, I don't even know if that's quantifiable. I spoke a moment ago about new construction competition, but Victoria Oaks inside Victoria Park still has a good bit of new construction options. DeBary Plantation, on the other hand, doesn't have much, if anything at all, for new construction. I believe DeBary Plantation is a wonderful community for active adults, for the 55-plus crowd, but it doesn't even begin to compare with Crestwind and Victoria Gardens inside Victoria Park. I've got a whole other video on that community, so check it out. Also, towards the end of this video, I'm going to include some links to videos for both DeBary Plantation and Victoria Park. Crestwind at Victoria Gardens is a gated section for only that 55-plus crowd, and they've got a full-time employee in there that manages the activities. It's pricey. The HOA is quite a bit more than DeBary Plantation, but they manage the lawns and the landscaping, and this section of Victoria Park is really more about a community lifestyle with a whole mess of activities for this 55-plus crowd. Another contrast between these two communities is their respective towns. I love DeBary and I love Deland, but there's really nothing to do in DeBary. DeBary is really just a little bedroom community, and aside from maybe Gemini Springs and the St. Johns River, there just isn't much to do here. If you live in DeBary Plantation, you're going to need to head up to Orange City or down to Sanford for shopping, restaurants, or entertainment. Yes, DeBary is planning a downtown district, which could change things quite a bit. But as of this recording, that's just a plan for the future. Deland, on the other hand, has just about everything you need right in Deland. Right on the edge of Victoria Commons, there's a couple of great little restaurants. You can get ice cream, and there are some medical buildings right there on the edge of Victoria Commons. They've got an amazing downtown district about 10 minutes away with all sorts of restaurants and bars, along with Walmart, Lowe's, and all that being right close by too. Before we get to one difference that might be a deal breaker for some of you, if you're finding value here, then do me a huge favor and like this video and click that little notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I post other videos just like this. Of course, if you have real estate needs anywhere here in Central Florida, simply give me a shout. Another difference in these two communities is the price. The median sale price on the DeBary Plantation in the last 6 months since this video was made is right around $450,000, whereas the median price up in Victoria Park was right around $405,000. That's quite a bit of difference. Maybe it's the 9 townhomes that sold in Victoria Park that tend to sell for just a bit less, whereas there aren't any townhomes down in the DeBary Plantation. The lot size on average is bigger in DeBary Plantation, being about a quarter acre versus around 0.17 acres in Victoria Park. The homes in Victoria Park are a bit newer too, but I believe the difference is pretty much inconsequential. The data here shows quite a difference overall, but we're really sending our buyers in the same price range to both communities, as there are similarly priced homes in both communities. The schools in each of these communities are in Volusia County. I've heard people say that they like the schools down in the DeBary Orange City area better than up in Deland, but I really can't speak to that. I don't have any students in school these days. If you'd like to find out which school is better, go online to greatschools.org or another good website that'll help you with that. So, which is better? Well, if you're driving to Orlando on a daily basis, then the DeBary Plantation may have a slight edge. If you're over 55 and you have the budget, then Victoria Park is a clear winner. Want a small, quiet town, or do you want a town with a nice, bustling downtown area? Then the choice really depends on your wants and your needs. Locals, what have I missed here? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. This community depends on everyone to provide a better user experience, which is my goal. Be nice, but be honest. I can come up personally with plenty of good and plenty of bad about both DeBary and Deland, so I get it. When my customers are looking for homes here in Central Florida, I'm quick to tell them the pros and some of the cons of each of these towns and these communities. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.